week we're going to be reviewing episode 7 of Paradise on Hulu. If you want to hear our thoughts, stay tuned. Hi guys, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Tasha.
And this is Her Real Perspective, where culture meets cinema. This week we'll be discussing episode 7 of Paradise. So let's get into it. The episode is called The Day, which is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Yes,
like what actually happened. So yeah, this episode was intense.
It was a wild ride.
Looking forward to getting into it.
The first thing that stood out to me was Xavier standing around, and like as this is going on, and he's like, oh man, I need to talk to the president, like this, that, and the other. He's like very, to me, like timidly trying to get the president's attention, knowing that his wife is like very far away and whatever they thought was happening is happening right now. I don't understand where his sense of urgency was, and maybe he's just like so professional that he's like, the proper thing for me to do is X, Y, and Z. But I would be like, Mr. President, right now is when I need your attention. My wife is stranded, bro. We have to go get her. You said you were gonna send a plane. Like, what are we doing? And that was the first thing for me. It was just like, why are you standing around? Why are you like, hey, like guard the door? I would be like, no, Cal, we need to have a chat right now. Because I had so much anxiety in this episode, just in general, from beginning to end. But like that part of it, I'm just like, hurry up and say the thing, spit it out, get his attention, tell the people to get out. You're like head of security or something. Can you just be like, we need the room, something?
But yes, I agree. And I'm like, I was, like you said, chalking it up to him being very professional and poised in a crisis from his training and stuff. And he also knows that everybody else is not privy to what's going on, so he can't run around like a chicken with his head cut off. But yeah, he was very, very calm and stuff.
I'm like, I would have been distraught. I don't know.
I know. I'm like, lady, get the freak out of my face.
Stop coming up to me.
Like, why are you coming to me? Like,
out of all of these people,
but I guess
somebody else.
They did go. So this lady Marsha keeps coming up to Xavier because they're all like, they're outside of this meeting, and Xavier, I keep calling him Xavier because of them.
He called himself Xavier.
Really?
Yes, he did. In this episode, he called himself Xavier, and his wife called him Xavier too. So I think it is actually Xavier.
So ridiculous.
So we have to get over it.
But then when I was, this is a complete tangent, but when I was looking at Kev on Stage's video, he called him Xavier too.
Yeah. Is it a black thing?
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe.
Yeah, maybe it is a black thing.
She keeps coming up to Xavier, and saying, "What's going on? I know you know what's going on. Just tell me what's going on. Just tell me what's going on." He can't tell her because he doesn't know if she's part of the list of people to go. And it's probably, since she's asking all these questions, obviously she's not.
Otherwise she would know.
And he's trying to coordinate with his wife and everything like that. But this lady keeps talking to him. He's trying to text his wife and stuff. And then the thing is, he's not being quiet about it. So she hears him like, all right, go to the Air Force base and take this trip. She's like, okay, so obviously the president's helping you. Tell me.
Like fill me in, bro.
This was so rough, man.
Oh yeah, it was hard. It was hard.
It was rough. So but that's valid. He was very calm and not moving along. That kind of goes into my thing of, why are people still standing around at work?
Hello? That's one of mine. That's one of mine too.
Are you guys that dedicated to your job?
Because I would be like, I'm leaving. Granted, no one knows what's going on except the viewers. And so of course we're like, go home, hug your kids, because like you're about to be dead soon, very, very soon. But yeah, I also said one of the things that didn't work. Why are folks still reporting the news?
I'm like,
I don't understand.
The news and the people at the White House, they just keep talking. Like, this lady literally got washed off the darn balcony or something, off the roof somewhere.
Yeah, wherever she was.
Well, let me see if I can get her back on the line.
Why would you think that you would be able to?
What are you talking about?
You just showed us. What did they show us? They showed us Florida was under.
Yeah.
Didn't they? Like Miami or something like that. And then they showed us some other place.
Oh, Australia was under. Melbourne.
Yes.
Sydney, completely underwater.
And so it's moving its way through whatever.
Yeah.
So if it happened, boom, 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 and now it's happening wherever the heck she was.
Yeah.
Why do you think you're going to get her back? You just showed us footage where it happened previously. Yeah. And there's no one there.
Right.
So what are you talking about? I was so confused.
I was like, what are people doing? And I know that there are people that are so dedicated to their careers, particularly news people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this because you believe that it is an inherent right for future generations to have this information? Or do you think that, oh, if I survive this, I'm gonna get recognized as something. What is I don't get the rationale, because I'm sure have a family.
Right.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I really don't. But yeah, it was wild. And then I'm like, so I've been thinking about like 9/11 and stuff. Like we stayed in school and stuff like that. Like nobody came to get us, but there's more control over that.
Right.
Like they could just shoot down a plane or something. But
right.
You guys, there's no defense for a tsunami. Take your tails home.
Yeah.
And like get
it's a natural disaster.
Yeah.
You can't do anything.
Yeah. So it was just crazy.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I was also like, I feel like I would not be there anymore.
Yeah.
And the fact that, and I don't know, I'm sure we'll get into it, but the fact that they're like, okay, we need the people who are gonna like stay and secure the White House to do that or whatever. I'm like, no, I'm not staying here.
I know.
I'm not securing the White House.
You hear that guy? He said, it's your responsibility to protect the president. Are you kidding?
Oh, right.
It's not my responsibility. It's
not no more.
Protect my own.
Yes.
Are you kidding?
Oh my
As you are. Okay. This is just crazy.
It is crazy.
So anyway, that was it.
Okay, my next one was Cal was a good guy. He was a good guy, guys. Yeah. Like, no wonder he turned into a freaking drunk when he goes to paradise. Yeah. Because look at what happened. All of the decisions that he had to make, and they were all not life-threatening, but like, are we gonna survive? You are gonna survive, or you're not gonna survive based on my decision in this moment right here, right now. And that is a lot. That's a lot for any person, whether you're president or not. Like, to be the one to have to like press the button, even if everyone else is like press it. Like, they all voted and they all said we need to go. Like, it's a go for Versailles. Like, even though everyone else was in an agreement, ultimately he was the person that had to be like, okay, we're making the decision. Yes, we're moving forward. This is why I've always said, one of the probably so many reasons, that I could never be president. It's too much responsibility. I don't want to do that. I don't want to make those kinds of decisions ever, even if everyone is like, oh yeah, this is what we need to do. Ultimately, I'm the one making the decision. And if it's a bad decision, or if it turns out not great or whatever, like, I'm gonna cry about the fact that I made a terrible decision. But when I watched this, I was just like, he's a good guy. Absolutely. He is a good guy. Absolutely. He was doing all of these things that he did in good conscience, and you know, with all of the information that he had in the moment. And he cares for the American people. He wants them to, you know, be good. Are they going to be good? Sounds like no. But I think at least having the information and kind of sort of being able to prepare or at least say your goodbyes. He wanted to afford that opportunity to people. So I thought that was great.
I did too. Especially like they kept honing in on that guy,
the older man.
I'm like, you are rearranging chairs on the Titanic.
Okay.
why are you still cleaning?
Yeah, why are you doing that?
And I think this is one of the things that didn't work for me. But to go back to Cal, like, he kept seeing him like, this guy's just doing his job.
Right.
And he's like so focused on doing a good job and stuff that he's not letting anything hinder him from doing it, when the most important thing right now should be him focusing on his family.
Right.
And so he took that time to like touch base with him. He's like, okay, this guy's not going to be deterred.
Right.
Like, what's going to convince people to take your tail home?
Right.
Like, it's not like, oh, this is just happening on the West Coast and it's not going to come here. Let's just stand here and like, oh my goodness, that's so sad that's happening to them. Right. Like, no, y'all need to know, like, get out of here.
Yeah, you're going to be affected.
Right.
Directly.
Yeah.
Very soon.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yes.
It was very touching.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So... yeah, okay. My next thing that stood out is this guy on the third day of the job.
Okay.
Why would these people put a guy that's on his third day of duty? Well, okay, they didn't know this was going to happen.
Right.
But, so, okay, fine. But that one, it just stood out to me like, he's like, yeah, this is my third day. Does this stuff usually not happen?
He's like, and I'm like, not normal?
Yeah. I'm like,
well, what's going on?
As things are escalating, I'm like, guy, you might want to just move on. Because there's no way that on your third day that they deem you valuable enough to take you with them.
Literally.
Like, why did you... And then as soon as when he was there, I'm like, they're not going to take this guy. Like, and he's going to do all this stuff, doing his job.
Yeah. And
they're going to leave him standing right there, going there.
Yeah.
And it was even worse than that.
Oh my gosh, I know. Yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
But not funny at all. I don't know. It was just sad.
Yeah.
It was sad. And we see... we see this happen in Paradise when they like let off the firecrackers or whatever, but they think people are like they're shooting at the building or whatever. We see all of the important people running to get into the vans and drive off, and everyone else is just like, what about us? What about us? It's like a repeat. Well, that was like the repeat of what happened on the day.
Yeah.
Because it was literally the same thing. All of these people standing around. Now everyone knows that they're all about to die. And they just have to watch any hope that they had to survive leave. Yeah. Which is nuts.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is horrible. Because I'm like, people that survive will know that you did this as an administration.
Right.
At the same time, it's like, do you just say, fine, everyone dies?
Right. Yeah, like, you have to make a decision. Yeah,
like, just doom everyone in the, at least the nation to be gone? Or do you try to save some people so you can start over again?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Very heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It was horrible. So Robinson is a beast. She's like, so when she had the previous episode, I was like gonna call her Quick Draw McGraw because she was so excited to have the guns back. And now I see like she ain't playing no games. Like she has a mission and she's going to complete it.
That's right.
So so in reference to that guy on his third day, he holds up Xavier with a gun and says, I'm getting on this airplane. Like there's a space.
Yeah. Let me on.
Space. Yeah. But like let me on. He's like, you can't come on. She's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna shoot him in the freaking head.
Yeah. She's like, get out of the way.
Obliterated him. Get agent, do your job.
Yeah.
She told him to get on the plane.
Yeah. Like, let's go. We don't have time for this.
We don't have time. And I'm gonna stay down here and make sure nobody else tries to jump on the helicopter.
Yeah.
With a gun. She's like, I'm gonna
and she also was not, unless she had on a vest, a bulletproof vest under her very nice white blouse. Right. She wasn't protected either. And she's like, that's fine. We're doing the thing. Let's go.
There were several of them that didn't have them on.
Which is
like Xavier took his off to give to the president.
I would have been like, third day guy, give him your vest.
He had one on.
Oh, I thought he did.
It was just a few.
I thought he gave him one before they shot the people in the thing, like when they were still inside.
Oh, okay.
Like, put this on.
Oh.
But maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe he did. Okay, maybe he did. But yeah, it was, she's Yeah, I was like, she's crazy. She's like, she gonna get the job done.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and nobody better not stand in her way.
That's right. I really love that. Also, when she's like, okay, you guys are gonna go down, do the thing, blah blah blah, whatever. I'm gonna go back up and make sure da 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 thing. Like when they were on the elevator, I was like, I would have been like, we're gonna go down and you're gonna go back up and make sure it is whatever it needs to be, because I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm not about to get stuck. She's like, don't wait for us. I'm like, I would have been like, don't fucking leave me. Like, just so we're on the same page. Do not leave if I'm not there. Thank you.
She's more dedicated.
Man. Very much so. I like that. A lot, because before this episode, I was like, I don't like her. At all. Like, what's your problem, lady? And now I'm like, okay. I see it now. It's making sense.
And this was all before she and Cal got, I'm assuming. Really got together. Like, so it's really a redeemable episode for her.
It really was. You understand her more after seeing that. Okay, my last thing that I have, it's gonna take us a little bit left, but this episode unlocked a new fear for me, which is like natural disasters and tsunamis and whatever. Anyone who knows me, or maybe not anyone, but I always tell people all of the fears that I have in life come from movies that I've watched. My fear of bridges comes from Ghost Dad. Do you remember Ghost Dad? Oh my god, every person I say this to, they're like, Ghost Dad?
I've heard of that.
Bill Cosby? Oh my gosh. Okay, so Bill Cosby, and he has like 2 or 3 kids or something like that. I think maybe he's like a single dad. I can't remember. But something happens, and he is trying to get home quickly. I don't remember if he, like, someone like hijacks his car and like he's still in the car. I think he's in a taxi. Anyway, they're like driving, maybe someone hijacks a taxi and he's like in the back, like being taken somewhere. And so whatever, they're like trying to get somewhere really fast. They're like speeding on a bridge. They like, something happens and they crash and the car goes off the bridge. And he like dies, but he comes back as a his spirit. It's Ghost Dad. So he comes back and he's like, for somehow the kids can see him and then he's talking to them and whatever. It's a great movie. It's a 90s movie. I think it's like 90, I don't know what year, but I literally was just talking to someone at work about this and they were like, Ghost Dad, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so anyway, Ghost Dad is my fear of bridges. All Dogs Go to Heaven is my fear of water, because the dog like drowns in this movie. Have you seen that? All Dogs Go to Heaven?
I have. It sounds very familiar.
It's an animated movie. Fear of being like getting stuck in a car or something is like from Rescue 911. Remember that show?
No.
Oh my god!
What is going on?
I bet someone who's watching has seen.
I mean, it sounds familiar as Rescue 911 does. It's like a current show, or it's...
No, it's old. Okay. It was from when I was a little kid.
Okay, yeah.
Like very, very young. And it was just like they would like play like the 911 tape and like dramatize the like whatever that happens.
That sounds familiar.
Anyway, every fear that I have, my fear of like being stuck in the middle of nowhere and not being able to get help comes from Scream. We already talked about this, because the girl was getting like stabbed and she was outside screaming for help. No one could hear her because her neighbors were too far away. I have lots of fears. And this one unlocked a new fear for me.
Oh my gosh.
Related to natural disasters. Seeing that lady out there talking, like hearing the like high pressure sound wave or whatever it was, which sounds like something exploded. I'm like, what is happening?
Right.
Also, she says like, oh, we've seen that this happens before the wave hits. And she's just like still standing there, continuing to report the news. I'm like, it happened, bro. And I think it happened twice.
She's like, oh, that was really painful.
Her like nose is bleeding. I'm like, are you kidding me? What's happening right now? And then she like pans around and you can see the wave coming in. No, absolutely not. Now I'm terrified. Yeah, that was my thing.
Yeah.
That was the thing that stood out for me. It was like, new fear unlocked.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm like, okay, so.
Horrifying.
So if this happens, maybe we should start building. We should start building an underground freaking bunker.
Okay? Because where else can you go? I'm like, oh, well, I wonder how tall the building is that she's on.
Yeah.
And then, like, it doesn't matter. This is like a massive wave or massive waves.
Yeah.
And they're gonna, even if she's above the waves, which they said it can be like 300 feet
above sea level. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So even if it is like a super high thing, it's so powerful that it's just gonna knock down the building. Like, it doesn't actually have to come up over the building, and the building's gonna get knocked down anyway. So like, either way, you're freaking dead. I'm looking like, Alex, we need a plan,
right,
for such a thing, because I'm not gonna do well in an apocalyptic kind of
post-apocalyptic world.
Not me.
Yeah,
that doesn't work. That's not gonna work.
Yeah,
I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
I'm gonna volunteer. Like, just take me out.
I know.
Because you know what, it's not gonna go great.
Yeah, when Terry was on the phone with him, I'm like, okay, so at this point, after she tags up the phone, now what?
Yeah,
because I'm like, okay, well then let's just make this quick, because what the heck are we? What am I gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Oh my
Hopefully
God.
it's over really quickly and it's not very painful. Like, I don't know.
Gosh.
What do you do?
Yeah. Wow, man.
Yeah.
Wild. So I'm like, okay, this all has to just be like, this is just, very good writing and stuff. There's nothing like really, some Antarctic volcano.
I'm looking like
being real.
Yes.
Because a lot of things you think they're written based on actual things. Like, there's some level of semblance to actuality that they're drawing from.
Yeah.
So this can't really be happening.
I know. I'm looking like, is this really is this a thing under like the sea or whatever in Antarctica? Like, do we have to be worried about this? Because I'm worried about this now. I'm like, what do you do?
Yeah.
What the F do you do?
I know. Seriously.
And they say in the episode when Cal and Xavier are arguing, he says, "You told us we would have time," and he's like, "Yeah." Or maybe it wasn't then. Maybe it was when they were in the meeting.
The cabinet meeting or something.
Yeah, and he's like, you said we would have like 10 days or something, but we've had minutes or something like that. What can you do with a couple minutes notice? Like, nothing at all, clearly.
So that was...
Hell, what can you do with 10 days notice? Probably still nothing. You can't build an underground city in 10 days.
And because... I think that with the 10 days, I don't know what their plan would have been. Mm-hmm. Because it's not like they were going to say, oh, well, we'll expand to take more people. They had already planned 29,000 people. That's the number of people. They already knew who they were taking. So I don't know what they would have done, but maybe they would have been able to gather the troops more.
I have no idea.
I don't know, orderly? I don't know. Or let everybody have the day off? I don't know what the plan. What's the difference? Yeah, what's the difference?
Yeah, I have no idea. Because
he can't. If they couldn't say to the people like, "Okay, guys, you got 10 days before the freaking world has this thing," because then there would have been mass chaos for 10 days. So I really don't know what the difference would have been.
Maybe it only would have been helpful for them.
Yeah,
Terry would have had time to come back.
Yes,
they would have been like very orderly, moving to go to Toronto instead of having to break out, bust out, and kill people and all this other nonsense. Which is crazy. Yeah,
I'll say it again. It's Xavier's fault. I'll just reiterate
once more.
It was further and Cal was thinking the same thing. Like, bro, I let you know. You gave me like riddles or you hinted, but dude, he said it. Okay, but anyways, it was so sad. It was so sad.
Yeah, I was like, what do you even do?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I don't know what to do. And Cal's like, get on the freaking plane, bro. You have 2 children. What do you mean you don't know what to do? We're going to take your kids and leave you here for your wife who is no longer here with us?
Right. Yeah. That was kind of...
Get on the plane.
I know he was distraught. He's like, so what are you don't want to take this seat? There are 8 billion people out there would gladly take your seat.
That's right.
And he's like, so what are you going to do? He's like, I really just don't know.
Yeah.
There really is no question.
Get your ass on the plane. I would have just been like, get the fuck on the plane.
Yeah.
That's in order.
Yeah.
Like, if I need to pull rank, okay, fine.
Yeah.
That's in order. Get on the plane.
Yeah.
I'll decide for you.
Yeah. So.
We're not doing all of this.
Yeah.
For you to freaking stay here.
Yeah.
Get on the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good boy. Want to talk about what didn't work?
Yes.
I said this already, but the man who was cleaning in the White House, he didn't have on AirPods. I thought maybe the guy had on AirPods because I'm like, how? Yeah, because I'm like, how are you not noticing people running through? Even if you're like, okay, well, I got to work around them. Don't you look up? I guess I just don't get that part. Just didn't make sense to me. I guess they wanted to bring the point home that he's just so dedicated. He's working at the White House for 9 administrations, and stuff. But I'm just like, I feel like, when you see everyone running, you run too, or at least look up and see what the heck is going on.
Yeah,
So that just, but it's something minor.
Yeah, but I agree about that guy in particular, but everyone in general. I just said, like, why are people still reporting the news? We already talked about this a little bit, but like, that was a thing that did not work for me. Because I feel like, but I guess they just didn't know. No one knew that it was going to be what it was, but it's like, if this is a thing that, like, it's taken out Antarctica and it's taken out Australia, like Sydney and whatever, Melbourne, whatever, like all of these places, and the same thing is coming towards the US, why do you think, what's the point in reporting that? What is even the point? If it's like, okay, it took out this entire continent of Australia. Are you thinking that the U.S. is going to survive because we're the U.S.?
Right. Yeah.
Reporting the news does nothing.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Get out. Yeah. Like, go home. I mean, you can't get out. You can't, like, outrun it.
Right.
But, like, go home and, like, hug your people for the last time? I don't know.
Yeah. When Cal decided to do that live video, I was thinking, like, afterwards, like, couldn't he have done this on freaking Air Force One?
That is literally my point that I have written down. Yeah. I feel like Cal should have made that announcement from Air Force One. You are slowing down everybody.
Yeah. And causing all this extra stuff.
Yes. And, like, everyone's gonna die. Everyone there is gonna die anyway, but, like, you were, like, causing them to be shot in the head.
Yeah.
Because it's mass chaos and, like... Yeah. And thank goodness Xavier had the foresight to be like, this is gonna turn into a fucking circus. Let me go get some guns.
I didn't know why he was doing it.
I didn't either. I'm like, did I miss someone tell him, like, hey, we need guns wherever we're going or whatever? I was like so confused.
Yeah, me too.
But he knew.
And then when that guy, so he had the guy like, okay, you're hot, which means put your hand on your regular weapon, and then he like upgraded him to a freaking machine gun. Yeah, and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, oh yeah, because when they hear the live news, they're gonna be trying to get in there.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah,
he's like, make sure the doors are secure or whatever. I'm like, who would be trying to get in? All of these people work for you,
right?
But obviously, he knew like this. We're about to drop a bomb in everyone's lap and people are going to go nuts. Yeah, and they're going to walk out through the crowd to your safe destination. Right. That was wild. Like, leaving all of the other people. I'm like, y'all could have did this somewhere else, bro. Yeah. Like, do it at the bunker. I don't mean, like something. Yeah. Like the guy, when they're like, no, he's like, no, get me on TV or whatever, and the guy's like, fuck. Yeah. I was like, oh gosh, like this is gonna be really bad. And then after they make their way through eventually after shooting the guy and doing this and doing that, and they're on the elevator, he's like, thanks, I really enjoyed that. Yeah. He's the one who died.
I never knew. So he when they were on Air Force One and that one plane went down, and then they went and got Cal and said, "Oh yeah, the plane went down." He was like, "That was the Joint Chiefs," or like, "Oh no, that was Congress." And he was like, "And Todd," and I'm like, "Who the heck is Todd?" Yeah. He was Todd. When I watched the second time, I'm like, "Why would they call out his name?" You know, because who is this guy? But that was Todd, the guy who screamed F and said, "I really enjoyed that."
Okay.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah.
Something that did not work for me was Xavier shooting at Sinatra's feet. I feel like he should have shot her.
Ooh.
Even when she's like, "Oh, your wife is blah, blah, blah," and whatever, I was like, I don't care. Shoot her anyway.
Right.
Because why do you have that smug look on your face? I cannot do this with you. Like, I cannot do this with you. I was like, shoot her. Yes. Shoot her now. Yes. What are you smiling about? You're not about to smile on my face. No.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I had that as a note, as a point. Like I said, Sinatra is so smug, and she has the upper hand again.
Yes.
Oh, I was like, can you just hit her with the gun? Just
I know something hurt her physically.
Yes.
Because
oh my gosh,
what are we doing?
Oh, that was so annoying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what worked?
Things that worked. Okay. Everything. I said everything. Fantastic cinematography, great storytelling, great acting. Yeah. I felt every single emotion. That they were like, ooh, we want them to feel sad. Yes. Oh, we want them to feel anxious. Yeah. Oh, we want them to be hopeful. Yeah. Oh, we want this, and every single emotion that they tried to portray, I felt it. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everything. Sinatra as a villain, I've noted that separately.
Yeah.
That worked. Like, she is the monster that everyone says she is not. Yeah. She's like, oh, maybe I am a monster. Yeah. Like, yeah, you are.
Absolutely.
You crazy lady.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I said everything too. Yeah, I mean, so the emotions that you visibly see Cal and Xavier going through. Cal was like debating, how do I do this? I'm about to leave all these people essentially to their deaths and all this. And then Xavier trying to figure out what to do for his wife. Meanwhile, this Marsha lady's begging him for more information. Please just at least just take my son. Yeah. And like, what does he say to that? Right. He says, okay. Like, what are you gonna say? No? Right. Like, and then she finds out now she said the blood of her kid is on his hand. That's right. That is wild. Yeah, it was just an excellent episode. Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then the people having to shoot people if necessary. Yeah. That's crazy. Like, you could hear, so they're going up the elevator and they're shooting people while the president is riding the elevator. Right. It is just crazy. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It was just a great episode. Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. And I think obviously these people go into these jobs with like hopeful that they don't have to do these kinds of things. Unless you were like Billy, who was literally built to kill, basically. Yeah. But it's like people are going to do whatever they need to do to survive. And sometimes on both sides of it, right or wrong, sometimes it seems like nonsensical that is what you would do. Like the very first person that got shot, he has people standing there with guns on him. And he still tried to grab the freaking gun that was on the floor. I'm like, impossible. There's no time for you to step forward, grab the gun, stand up, and shoot someone. Right. When these people are 5 feet from you and their guns are pointed on you already. Right. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. But it's like, in the moment, it was worth it for him to try, at least. Yeah. Because people want to live. Yeah. Like, no one is like, well. Yeah. Okay. Like, no, these people are trying to survive. And so are the people that are going to paradise. Right. They have to protect that as well. Yeah. Yeah. Whew. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Oh, and then the thing with the nukes. These countries are crazy.
Oh, yes! Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I didn't mention this. But I'm like, what are you guys talking about? He's like, guys, I went to school for like English lit. Like, I don't know what you're trying to say. Yeah. And they're like, oh, these two countries are like fighting each other. Yeah. And I'm like, in the middle of a natural disaster? What are you doing? Yeah. But like, they explained, like, they want to like have all of the power or whatever. They're like trying to assert dominance. Yeah. I guess in case the thing really doesn't wipe everyone out, they want to be the country that's, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
This is nuts.
I mean, I feel like it's similar to, which is totally not comparable in scale, but when there's a downturn in the market and all the rich people run to grab up all the like low stocks or all the poorly run down, low value housing, so they can get more power and stuff. When things go back, like, oh well, I staked my claim to Denmark, they were underwater, or whatever. So now China includes all this other stuff. Yeah. So that was crazy.
That was nuts.
Because I'm thinking in my when Presley said that thermonuclear, I was like, well, maybe there's some larger conspiracy that they made this up and now they're freaking bombing people. Like, but they were literally trying to like, well, we think you're gonna bomb, so we're just gonna bomb you first.
Right.
Like, what is? Shouldn't you guys be trying to save people? Like, like you're
how do you have time to do this? Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. So, that was wild too.
That was wild.
Gosh.
I am upset that we're about to be at the last episode because there's too much that needs to happen. Yeah. To tie up all of these loose ends, I do not think you can do it in an hour.
Right.
And we see that Xavier is trying to call them off now. Yeah. Now that he knows Terry is alive, thank goodness that she is alive.
Yeah.
Because I was distraught.
Yeah.
I texted you and was like, I'm distraught. Yeah. Like, what is happening? And he knows that Sinatra has Presley, or, Jane. Well, he doesn't know Jane's involved. Right, yeah. He knows that someone has Presley. He's like, no, like, call it off. We need to, we need to do this a different way.
Especially because all of these people that signed up to do this revolution or this, whatever you want to call it, revolution, against Sinatra and everyone, all the billionaires under the bunker. They signed up to do this, and now what is going to happen to them?
Right.
Like, is everyone going to be fired or imprisoned? I don't know. What are the ramifications for all the people that said, okay, we'll follow you, Xavier?
Yeah. What was your rating?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. The rating, 5 out of 5, no notes.
Oh my gosh. On a scale from 1 to 5, this was like a 10. Yeah. It was so good. Yeah. No notes, no corrections, no anything. Like, it was like pretty close to perfect.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So good.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
And we hope you enjoyed our review, and we will see you guys next week.
Like and subscribe.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.